Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network. Welcome to Gun Sports Radio, all about shooting, hunting, self-defense, and more. Now, here are the hosts of Gun Sports Radio, Dave Stahl and Lance Pelkey.
All right, folks, welcome to Gun Sports Radio. Lance Pelkey is still picking olives. You know, he went to Italy. I really think he went as cheap labor. Because every post I see, he's either picking grapes or olives.
He's doing farming.
He's farming. He is a farmer, but he says he loved it so much, he's probably going to stay. So I get the Hellcat. You can have the Mercedes. You want the Mercedes?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, you take the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I think she wants the Mercedes.
Kristen wants the Mercedes. I don't.
Hey, so who have you got as guests today?
So I brought my friend Kristen in. We were actually, I stopped by a local shop because I was having a little work done on some things. And Kristen was there helping her friend, Andrea, right? Andrea buy her first gun.
Oh,
and
wow.
That's one of the most important things we're trying to do is to get more people to buy guns. So I wanted to introduce you to Kristen.
Sure. Hi, Kristen. How are you?
Hello there. I'm good.
So was your friend willing to learn, or was she?
She had been in the Navy before and is familiar with rifles and all, but has not had a firearm purchased here in California. Let's put it that way.
I didn't think really in the military. I thought everybody had to have sidearm training.
It was mainly rifles, my understanding.
Interesting. Well, yeah, I'm old. Yeah. Mine were you have the ball and the powder and the thing. Yeah, just get a little. You can pull it too.
Sorry. There you go.
No, that's okay. So you got her. What did she choose?
She chose a Glock 19.
Okay.
Mainly because it's easy to manipulate. She was also looking at the MMP Shield, but that one, the springs are kind of a little bit tighter.
My wife's got a 9mm Smith & Wesson that we got from a different store other than Gun Range San Diego, which is where I should have got it. And she can't rack it. But I think Manny's got some trick that she stands on her head with one leg up or something.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah,
the old stand on the head and rack the slide trick. Yeah. But what was the cattle? Not going into too many details, but the catalyst. It wasn't sport. It wasn't a hobby. She was
a peeping Tom. Is the reason why she's getting one. She has somebody. She's a single mother with her little daughter.
Right.
At home, and somebody's staring in the windows, and she lives in one of those really good neighborhoods that don't have that kind of problem, the Scripps Ranch area.
Boy, I can't wait for that guy to stick his head in the window tonight. Oh, no, after 10
in 10 days.
In 10 days. Actually, all she needs to do is just...
It's very true.
Isn't that the ultimate?
Or what she could do is, because she's got to go get training right after she gets it. Mm-hmm. So take her target and just hang it right in the window there.
Well, that's, you'd be surprised how many people do that.
Yeah.
At first one I'd seen it was in Ocean Beach.
Ocean Beach. I saw that guy. Yeah.
It's right there on the main drag. He's got there. I go, whoa.
I saw him for years back in that was like late 90s. And I'd go down there to take my dog to Dog Beach.
Yeah,
and I
drive
thought,
right by it.
This is the funniest neighborhood for a target to be hanging up, But yeah.
It's the way to go. And only because I'm terrible. Your name again, sir?
I'm Jason.
And Jason, you are with?
I'm with the Gun Range San Diego.
You surely are. Oh, you're taking Hollywood's place?
I am.
Okay.
No one could fill those shoes or boots. I guess he probably has.
And by the way, before I am remiss, this is brought to you by Gun Range San Diego. Without Gun Range San Diego, we wouldn't even be here. We've got some other great sponsors as well, but Gun Range has been with us ever since day one, and Veronica and the team are extremely supportive. And I'm telling you, I don't know if you heard this, but I call Gun Range San Diego the Nordstroms of gun ranges.
You could call it that.
It's just not the price. It's not as expensive as Nordstrom, but you get the quality service. I've never heard one person say one thing negative about Gun Range San Diego other than parking. But parking, you can't do nothing about.
Even parking, I haven't heard anything negative. Just that, sometimes it's a challenge. But I'm really happy they're getting their classroom set up.
I know that's going to be.
And
really
it's such a nice range, and it's such a modern,
it's
nice
airy
range.
too. You notice how airy? I mean, because of all the windows.
Yeah.
A lot of gun ranges you go into, I think they have to have that mentality. It has to be a cement block that you can't look out of. Some of them are pretty bad that way. This one is just. I love this place.
Well, times have changed. It used to be, kind of a good old boy sport, and you'd go into any gun shop, any gun range, and there's dust on the shelves and sawdust on the floor and everything. But here, Kristen is an oncology nurse. She's a single mom. She's helping another single mom buy a gun for defense. And, the Gun Range San Diego is a beautiful, modern, flat screens on the wall and everything. I mean, times have changed.
And people that are, because people will automatically say no before they even go in and even look. You can't, that's like saying, I don't like peanut butter. Well, have you ever had peanut butter? No, I just don't like it. Well, you can't not like it till you taste it. Then taste it, see if you don't like it.
And then try it with, bananas. And
strawberries and whatever.
That's what I have to do with my son.
Yeah. See, your son's probably the same way, He sees it, doesn't want to eat it. You got to trick him into eating it. I don't have a problem with that.
So Kristen is also a 10-ring member for San Diego County Gun Owners.
Oh.
From the beginning.
From the very beginning.
So what did you see a benefit in that?
Yes.
10-ring?
The sporting clay shoots.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're into?
On the Sundays, those are a lot of fun. I didn't know I was so into it until I started doing it. Now I need an over and under.
Now we need
because I shoot it with my tactical shotgun, and that's a little.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Did you notice the word need?
Yeah, I need.
That's all anybody ever says in the studios. I really.
That was one thing when we were talking about the firearms. So my friend wanted one for concealed carry, and then I was listening to the gentleman talk to her, and I mentioned, well, you got to look at it from a woman's point of view. You need actually different outfits. May require a different firearm, to be honest with you. An M&P shield might work with something a lot more tight-fitting, where if she's carrying off body in the purse, she can go for a Glock.
Right.
We want the Glock because it's a lot easier for her to manipulate starting out.
And isn't it
then she'll move on.
But isn't it funny how men think, well, you just need one gun.
Yes.
It's got to be pink. And, but guys, Lance, I think he owns a gun store. He just hasn't told his wife all the guns he's got. So and the same thing with cars. Men just think you guys don't know anything about cars and motorcycles and guns and stuff like that. But when you come right down to the nuts and bolts of it, you guys, that'd be an interesting study to do because in the car industry, 80%, like we talked about this weekend, 80% of the purchasing is done by a woman.
Yeah,
I wonder what the gun industry would be like. I guess that'd be still probably more male.
I think it's probably more male, but I think it's probably a broader spectrum of reasons on the men's side, where with women there seems to be more of a practical application. I hate to generalize, but it seems like women, it's more of a practical application. For defense, for sporting clays.
Like
I think
Jason, you've never bought a gun just because it was beautiful, and then you just wanted to have it, right?
Ooh,
yeah, right.
That's
and I know I'm not. You notice I didn't ask you.
Yeah,
I know better than to ask you But no, they're. Yeah, I know. It's just you buy one, you got to have it. Just like a tattoo. Once you get one tattoo, you got to get another one.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's primarily starting out, too, is you're very practical.
Yeah.
And now I have a CZ and some other.
How much practice do you do? Or how much would you like to do?
A lot more than I do. She's always out there.
I'm working on at Front Sight, the Combat Master course.
Okay. All right.
So I'd like to shoot.
That's the key. It's okay to buy a gun and own a gun, but if you don't take it out and shoot it and use it, it's like buying a car and parking it in the garage.
I was just going to say, so just to that Combat Master with Front Sight is a pretty big deal that she's working on that. So that means that she's going to be basically an expert with a shotgun, a rifle, and a pistol. And there are only, there's just a few dozen Combat Masters?
I'm just going to work on the handgun first.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Not quite there on all my other disciplines.
To your agent?
Yeah.
Apparently.
Isn't Gina doing that?
I went with Gina last time out there.
Yeah, but she's doing that Front Sight.
She's close to making it with the handgun.
I think she's gave up on everything else, and she's going to get to that top ring come heck or high water. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. But, I think it's so refreshing to hear stories like that. And thanks for bringing her in because, otherwise it's just a bunch of other guys sitting around here talking guns.
That's why I volunteered.
Thank you very much. All right, hey, we're going to take a small break, and we come back. A whole lot more right here on Gun Sports Radio, brought to you by Gun Range San Diego, right here on AM 1170, The Answer. folks. Hey, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports. I always do that. Gun Sports Radio. I'm Dave. He is Michael Schwartz. Little Hollywood. He is, I don't know where he's at. He's out doing something. I don't know what he's doing. Dylan, he must be fishing. And Lance, he's coming back next week. But it's going to be a great show. We want to thank our sponsors, Trident Gunsmithing. Go to TridentGunsmithing.com to have all your special technical things done to your gun. Gatsky Dillon and Balance. That's normally John Dillon's segment right now. But if you need a lawyer in reference to gun ownership, Gatsky Dillon and Balance is where you need to be. And, of course, Gun Range San Diego. All right.
Yeah, don't forget on Trident Gunsmithing, we're actually having San Diego County Gun Owners having our monthly meeting.
Oh, when is it?
That is on it's November the 15th. Oh, I'm sorry, November the 14th, Tuesday, November the 14th at Trident, which is right here in Miramar area.
And there's a little brewery right across the road from it.
There you go.
I don't know if you were aware of that.
Yeah, and a little archery shop too.
Oh, that archery shop is rocking. Dude.
Yeah, so come and do some shopping at Trident and have some pizza with us, and it'll be a lot
learn
of fun.
about Gun Range San Diego,
San Diego
County Gun Owners.
There you go.
Absolutely. All right.
So I wanted to talk about the Union Tribune. Printed a story called "Concealed Weapon Permits Are Most Concentrated in North and East San Diego County," and they actually came out with a nice little chart that showed that there are about 1,221 concealed carry permits. Now, we've been saying there's about 1,500. I don't think in this number they're including some of the sensitive jobs like judges and former law enforcement. So I think it is about 1,500. But the ones that they were able to see, 1,221, and they're showing that in the last 5 or 6 years, about 5 years, that it's actually that number's dropped 6%. And they talked about the demographics that most live in East County and North County, and that the occupations were a little tough to list because everybody you're allowed to say whatever you want. They don't have like filled boxes, so you pretty much say whatever you want or whatever you are and phrase it however you want. But another interesting part was there were actually 2 permits issued. And their zip code was outside of the county of San Diego. So you can't really figure that out because that's he's not able to issue to anybody unless they live in the county of San Diego.
That's odd.
But I think the reason that the Union Tribune is starting to talk about this is because it's a pretty hot topic with the election year going on. Mm-hmm. We've been pushing hard for the last 2 years, San Diego County gun owners, and working with the sheriff and, shining a bright light on his horrible CCW policy. And it seems that, mainstream media locally here is really starting to pick up on it.
Well, and you got how many people in San Diego? 3 million and change?
Close to 3.5 million.
And how many CCW is 1,500?
Easily 1,500.
I mean, where's the threat? I just don't get it. But hopefully, because a lot of attention is coming to gun ownership and protecting yourselves, and because we don't know what's going on in North Korea, we don't know what's going on anywhere anymore. So, I think being protected is a smart thing to do. Well,
I talk to people all the time. We were just talking about Andrea, who got her first gun that Kristen helped, and she lives in a very nice neighborhood. It's not that bad things don't only happen in bad neighborhoods. It's important to be able to protect yourself wherever you are.
Look at O.J. Simpson. That was a nice neighborhood, right?
A very nice neighborhood.
And just think if he or she would have been packing, we wouldn't be talking about this.
It would have been a different court case.
The glove would have fit. Trust me, it would have fit.
But we're encouraging people. So San Diego County Gun Owners is encouraging people to, because we're hearing from the very, very highest ranks and the people that are in the know, and we're seeing firsthand experience with people that are applying. That things are changing when it comes to the good cause statement. Nothing's going to change about the background check. Nothing's going to change about the, having to take the class and be, qualified and all that.
And nor should it.
Nor should it.
No. In fact, if they want to throw another class in there, that's fine.
Right. It's just this subjective part about the good cause that's just been absolutely horrible for years. But what we're hearing is, and he did add a little bit to the website. I talked about this last week, but I want to continue to talk a lot about it. We're hearing that people are going in and describing the situation where they need a CCW, whether it's work related or maybe they have to frequent a bad neighborhood, or maybe they're out on odd hours, or maybe their job requires them to carry expensive equipment, that sort of thing.
Right.
They're going down, they're filling out the application, they're putting in their good cause statement, and they're continuing on with the process. In the past, we were hearing the clerks would just send them away. Say, no, that's not, you're not going to get, that's not.
They wouldn't even let you fill out the paperwork.
No, in fact, the Peruta case that everybody's familiar with, the guy that tried to get a CCW 10 years ago and couldn't and sued, the reason he sued is because they said, nope, we're not even going to take your application. So they were very discouraging for years, and we're hearing within the last month, in a large part, thanks to the work that everybody's been doing with San Diego County gun owners, that he is looking to change. So we're encouraging people to go down and apply and talk about, hey, this is my good cause. There's been a lot of confusion. A lot of people say, well, I'm really good with guns. I take classes. I've been shooting my whole life. I was I was in the military. It's got nothing to do with proficiency.
No.
They don't care about proficiency.
Cause.
They're looking for what differentiates you from the general public.
Yeah, why do you need, this is not Gunsmoke.
Right.
You have to have a reason, and it has to be a valid reason, and you have to pass a background.
Yeah.
And I know we simplify it here on radio, but it should be simplified. You should go through the process. You either pass or fail.
Well, and the 1,200 number sticks out but really the 1,200 or 1,500 CCWs in San Diego, everybody, it sticks out, and it's a symptom of the problem. The problem is his policy is extremely difficult to understand. It's extremely difficult to interpret. So. It's real. I totally understand that people go to the website and say, hey, I don't understand what's going on, and they don't know what to put.
Well, you sat with him. No, and you didn't even understand his policy.
Yeah.
You were sitting there face to face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it's too bad. But what we're hearing is we think he's budged. I don't know if he hasn't budged enough, because really what we're interested in is a clear policy that people can follow. But we're trying to see just how much he's budged. So I know there's a lot of skeptics out there that are thinking, well, I'm not giving him I don't have bank statements, and I don't have a letter from my employer. Throw all that out. Forget it. Just go down and apply. And whether win or lose, email San Diego County Gun Owners.
I was just going to say,
here's what happened.
Yeah, and let us know. And if you have a compelling story worth putting you on radio, we'll even do that.
Yeah. Well, so here's this is crazy, Dave. So a couple of people, more than a couple, have gotten back to me and are pretty far along in the process. Usually it's at least 3 appointments to get your CCW. So they're at least 2 appointments into the process. And I've said, hey, great, let's go on the radio and talk about how, you've had a good experience. They refuse to do it. Everybody's so afraid. No. If they hear me on the radio, they might.
I wonder if they say something to them during the process. Because they're not telling you.
Well, I think that it's been so bad for so long that they don't want they don't want to.
But
move
doesn't
a molecule?
It kind of makes you say, look, we're going to go ahead and process you with the CCW, but you're not allowed to talk to the media. You're not allowed to talk to the until such time as this process goes through.
I hope that's not happening.
I'm hoping it's not either. But why does my stomach say that's what's happening? Because how many people have said no, I don't want to jinx it? Not just one.
No, a number of people. It's been kind of crazy. And Kristen's friend Andrea today was talking about a CCW.
Yeah, she has not only the peeping Tom, but there's also some other stuff, other issues in there.
But she brought it up to me.
Yes, she couldn't believe that we had a 10-day waiting period for a gun. First of all, but she had no idea of what the hoops and what everything she's going to have to go through, and she's now taken aback and she's a little more put off.
It's because they don't want to make it easy. Are you working on your CCW?
I will. I have a CCW in Nevada, Utah, and Florida.
Right.
So I've been through the process. I've been through the classes. Some of the best classes I ever took were my CCW, learning more situational awareness stuff.
The people that teach those classes are passionate, as you can imagine. And, they really want you to be educated and safe.
Yes, and that's really important. So that was never a problem. I'm a little intimidated by this process. I've got a prowler in my house, and we've had in my neighborhood people coming in and casing the houses where they're shining flashlights in the houses and looking around.
Really?
I live along the freeway, and the fence to the freeway was cut, so it's easier to get. It's a lot of things that have been going on.
Sure.
But even with all that, I'm still intimidated, even though I come in at odd hours at night with the nursing.
intimidated because
the process seems so difficult. And
is it that you just don't want to give them all your information, or is it you just think once you've applied, now you're on a list?
All
of the above.
Yeah. I've heard from other people that are business owners that it can be very invasive and stuff like that. And I shouldn't have to justify as much. I might not have the documentation they want, or I don't know what they want from me, which is the really
I'm going to guinea pig my way through it. And by the way, it's not cheap either.
Well, no, it's not. But that's
a huge part, too.
What she's saying is a very, very valid concern, and it's been going on. But again, the feedback we're getting is that they are taking away Sheriff Gore, believe it or not, they're taking away a lot of that invasiveness and not requiring so much paperwork, like bank statements and a letter from your employer. Now, again, this is what we're hearing.
Yeah, we won't know until we're going to do it, then I'm going to get a book deal, and I'm going to get a movie deal. What do you think?
There you go.
Yeah.
Can I have your autograph?
How to get a CCW in San Diego.
Well, we've started. San Diego County Gun Owners has started doing these activist update videos about twice a month, where Jenna does our activist update, and she does a great job of kind of recapping and talking about what we're doing. I think what we're going to do next is we're going to make a video, kind of explaining to people what we know about how to apply. How you do it, kind of step by step, and
kind of like a YouTube how-to.
Yeah, and why now? Like, why didn't we do it 6 months ago? Why are we doing it now? Because I think it's important because people, it's stuck in our heads that, hey, San Diego does an issue.
Yeah. No, I totally get it. I totally get it. Well, hopefully, once it starts rolling. Now, he's not running for a re-election? Or
he is, yep, in June. And, of course, his opponent, Dave Myers, remember we had Dave on a couple times. His opponent has been real clear about his intentions of issuing.
Still pushing it, huh?
And I believe this week, I keep saying this and I apologize, but this week we're going to actually release in writing his CCW policy. That's Dave Myers.
Oh, okay.
His policy in writing, so that people...
we should have him on next Sunday.
That's a good idea.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I mean, and it's only because we just want to know and hear what he has to say.
Yep.
And this way, he has a pretty good audience. He'll be able to talk to an awful lot of gun owners.
Yeah, and the other thing is, CCWs aren't the entire Second Amendment. So once we get past this issue with Dave, here's my CCW policy, Dave Myers. Let's talk about the rest of the Second Amendment, too. Because, San Diego County Gun Owners, we don't just endorse based on your CCW policy. We endorse based on your Second Amendment view in total. So once we get past the CCW issue, here it is, black and white, in writing, then let's talk about everything else. Because we want to make sure that the candidates that we get people to help and donate to and get elected, we want to make sure that they respect the entire Second Amendment.
Absolutely. All right, hey, we're going to take a small break. When we come back, Jason's in the house filling the big shoes of Hollywood, Joe Holyfield, that is, who is out and about. So stay tuned. We're going to have a whole lot of fun right here on Gun Sports Radio, AM 1170, The Answer. Folks, hey, welcome back. Gun Sports Radio, rocking and rolling. KCBQ AM 1170, The Answer. Want to thank our sponsors, Gun Range San Diego. I'm telling you, open 7 days. I almost say they're open 10 days a week. 7 days a week, 10 to 10, right there on Balboa, across from the Nissan dealer. Trust me, there's training. They have a gunsmith inside. They've got gun ranges. They've got events. And the one-on-one training, group training, and some of the greatest deals on guns and ammo you'll see in San Diego County. I've said it once. I've said it again. It's the Nordstroms of gun ranges. It just doesn't carry the Nordstrom price. With us today is Jason. How you doing, bud?
I'm all right. How are you, Dave?
Oh, just rocking and rolling. What's going on in the wonderful world of Gun Range San Diego? Got all your notes?
I sure do. We got several things to go over.
What do you got?
Well, on the 11th, Veterans Day, we'll be honoring our service members with $5 shooting for veterans.
Wow, that's
all
cool.
Day. That's one thing.
Is that active, retired?
Active or retired.
Oh, cool.
We'll be having our anniversary sale on the 18th and 19th. You can expect a lower price, a deal on memberships.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we'll be open regular hours, so, friends, family, before you eat all that turkey and mashed potatoes, all that stuff, all the great stuff, come on down for a good time with friends and family.
On Thanksgiving?
The day before Thanksgiving.
Day before
Wednesday,
Thanksgiving.
that's right.
You guys going to be closed Thanksgiving?
We will be closed Thanksgiving.
Excellent.
I'll be busy eating.
It's all family.
Eating three
You'll
meals.
be at the range shooting. I know how you guys are.
But you're
Figured
open
me
till
out.
10 the day before?
That's right, 10 to 10 the day before. We'll be open all day.
Excellent.
Black Friday, after Thanksgiving, we'll be gearing up for Black Friday, so expect a few surprise gun deals. So be sure to pay us a visit or at least a phone call. We promise you won't regret it. Finally, we're also getting ready for Christmas. We've got these cool tactical stockings. Kind of neat. If you want to stuff some stockings with ammunition, gun accessories, things like that for a loved one, please do so.
Aren't you going to do the 12 guns of Christmas again?
We are, and we're actually going to be putting a Wyndham Weaponry WWCF AR-15 on sale for just $550. That's it. $549.99.
That's
It's
crazy.
normally $699.
That's crazy.
For a lightweight AR.
Wow. That's awesome. Hey, tell us a little bit about the membership. I mean, I don't think we've really gotten into what type of membership you guys have at what levels.
Well, there are different levels. There's bronze, silver, gold, platinum. Bronze and gold are by far the most common people go for. With a bronze, you get free access for a full year from the date you purchase it. You can come in anytime. There are people who come in every single day. You get a free eyes and ears if you need it. You jump right on the range. You throw down your ID and you go in. That's it.
Right to go to the head of the line?
That's it. Well, that's the gold membership. The gold membership goes straight to the head of the line.
Wow.
You get 2 free gun cleanings a month. You can bring a guest for free every time if you want. And there are people who have a gold membership. They come every day, just like the bronze. They bring a friend, a sister, someone, their wife. You get those gun cleanings. You get frontline privileges. It's great. It's
And the top of the line one is?
Top of the line is the platinum. It's $1,000, but you're treated like a king. And you're a king. You get or a queen or a queen.
Good girl. But it's $1,000 for a year's membership.
It is a year.
So that's nothing. If you're an avid shooter or you're an enthusiast, you'll burn through $1,000 at any gun range in 90 days.
And nothing. And
Right, Michael?
Less than that. Yeah.
I was trying to be nice. So how much is the bronze?
Well, the bronze is at $299 right now.
Okay.
The gold is at $549, and the platinum is $1,000.
Okay. So, and you get a whole lot more. I mean, you guys have events, private events for the gold,
Tons.
for the platinum group.
Tons. We have things like we got the 12 guns thing going on. That's for everybody.
Right,
Sometimes we have special events.
Strictly for the club members.
Sometimes, yeah.
I guess the best way to find out, because I'm sure it's all broke down on the website.
Right. It's all broken on the website. We have an email list. Anybody has any questions about anything, they can always call the gun range, 858-573-1911.
1911.
Just
Love
like
it.
the gun.
I love it too.
Which that Wyndham? Which model is it?
That's called a WWCF.
WWCF.
That's
Keep
right.
looking. Keep looking.
There it is.
Nice
Look at
lightweight
that.
AR.
Look at that.
Oh man, for
How cool is that?
$500?
Yeah.
$549. You'll bag you that thing. It's normally $700. It's normally $699.
Yeah,
and,
at least. Yeah.
It's already California compliant. You can pop the mag just like you're supposed to be able to.
Yeah.
It's got a lot going for it.
What does it have? What you said it's California compliant. Does it have the?
It's got a Thorts in stock.
Okay, so it's this guy.
So it's actually the most, by far the most
That's even
preferred featureless setup on a rifle, because you can actually get your hand all the way around the thing. That's it. That's it.
It is cool. That Thorsten stock is pretty cool because, like you said, you can actually manipulate it a lot, like the same way.
Right.
And when you're you have a better grip on it. I know. I actually have one of the paddles.
It weighs 5.8 ounces.
Yeah, that's actually the rifle of choice for people who like to build a super lightweight or an ultra light rifle.
Okay, what did you say the price was?
It is $549.
What's wrong with your phone?
I know my phone's got
Your phone
a much
says
higher
it's
price.
$1,040. So something's wrong with your phone. You're going to the wrong place, dude. So you're actually cutting that gun literally in half off of retail.
Quite a bit.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wonder how you guys can make any money. But
We've also got John Groff. Last week I mentioned we have John Groff, a CCW instructor. If you have any questions about classes or anything, again, give us a call and we can get you in contact with him.
so he's on the inside trail of what's going on here in San Diego.
Yeah, nobody will know better than he will.
Yeah, because he's got his ear to the ground, as the old saying goes.
Well, John's former law enforcement too, isn't he?
He is.
Was he a sheriff's deputy?
I'm not
Pretty
sure
sure he
about
was a
that.
sheriff's deputy. Yeah,
I know he
he's-
was involved with law enforcement.
Yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. Great guy. we did he used to be involved in it with another range in town, and we brought a group in, and San Diego County Gun Owners has taught over 700 people to shoot, adults that have never shot before. So we brought in a group, and John was at the range, and there was one lady who was particularly nervous, and John had her come and sit down and talk to her, and just talked her right through it. And the guy is such a gentleman and such a professional, and did such a great job with her. She was, like I said, a little nervous, and he's just great, man. He's a professional. He's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. And Kristen, you're in the middle of the process right now.
I'm going to begin. I guess I'll be your guinea pig. Is that okay, Michael?
Heck yeah.
All right.
Now, you're an oncologist. That's the treatment of cancer, right?
Correct. I'm an oncology nurse. I do specifically bone marrow and stem cell transplants.
I don't want to know you.
No.
I don't want to know you.
No. Just don't visit me at work. We can go shooting anytime.
That's right. I'm not coming to visit you, not even if you ask me to. But, so anyway, I don't want to take anything away from your segment. So consequently, the best thing for people to do, I guess, do you have a mailing list that you can get on? Like if you go to...
We have an email list, that's right.
I mean, an email list is what I'm speaking of.
Right.
So that way you can keep people up to date on specials.
Absolutely. And we send out things almost weekly. We'll send something out.
And you're on Facebook, because I've seen your 12 Days of Christmas already.
That's probably one of the best, quickest places to figure out any kind of deal we got going on.
Right. Yeah, I got to look to see. I'm pretty sure I've got you guys down as friends of Gun Range San Diego.
Oh, gosh, I hope
so. Gun Range San Diego, they're so supportive of Second Amendment issues. Support the people that support your rights. Mm-hmm. And they're
without a doubt.
Big time.
So, other than that, now that when it comes to groups, like if you want to put together a group of people, what are the limits that you can handle?
You know what? Anytime you got a group of 8, 9, 10 people, we ask that they call ahead. Go ahead and try to set up something with us in the future, and we can, we always work something out with them. A lot of foreign groups, big tourist attraction. You might not expect it, but we are. Everyone wants to come to the United States and experience guns and cheeseburgers with In-N-Out down the street afterwards, and that's the biggest.
What is it over in Europe? I mean, they don't have. They've taken away all the guns.
Most countries in Europe, Asia, the police don't even carry weapons. And if something does happen, there was that awful. I think it was in Norway. There was an awful shooting, children. And the police weren't able to respond for an hour, for a full hour, and while you're hiding from this guy loaded up. And imagine that.
Yeah, can't even imagine it. Yeah, it's frightening. So I'm sure their eyeballs get really big when you see these people that have never.
One of the first questions is, are these real? And one of the second questions is it okay if I take a picture? I'm not going to get in trouble.
Wow.
It's just, it's a different world for them.
So much for Second Amendment rights, huh?
I would imagine this would be a really cool destination play. I mean, you have like I said, the burgers and the burritos, the microbrews, and then Gun Range San Diego,
San Diego, the beach.
I forgot it. So much going on in San Diego, I forgot about the beach.
Tell me about it. I know. There is so much. That's just. And then this is a destination. Like I was just.
It is.
Did an event this weekend down by the Star of India, and I think I was the only one there from San Diego.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody else was from every other foreign country, which is fine. I mean, as long as they're all having a great time. It was pretty interesting. What's interesting is seeing somebody from another country. Mm-hmm. Using today's technology, the selfie stick for your phone.
Geez. Oh, yeah.
And these two ladies in their burqas were holding this thing up and trying to take a picture.
A selfie stick?
I finally went over there and I said, just give me this thing, because they were getting seagulls and everything else.
Something that's really interesting to see is a lot of people from, say, Germany will want to see German guns. My dad's from Germany, so he's always got to boast about, Volkswagen and, BMW, Heckler & Koch, Sig Sauer, things like that.
Ruger.
No. Well, no, that's American.
That's American. Yeah. What's the one, the German pistol?
Well, Glock's Austrian.
Yeah, but what's
that's
a
close.
German pistol?
German pistol, Heckler &
Luger.
Koch. The Luger.
Luger, that's the one I'm thinking.
PO8 Luger.
Ruger.
Right.
My son was excited to go shoot a Mauser. He went through all the World War II guns.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of the historical weapons.
Yeah, the vintage stuff.
Oh, yeah.
At their place, they had a Mauser?
Well, I had to go to Nevada for this.
Oh,
sorry.
Because they have a huge fleet of rentals. They have all kinds of cool stuff. And then just few months ago, you guys did. Was it all the guns of Like all the World War II guns on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wait. You know, we're working up to doing that again. Beginning of near the first half of next year. Hopefully, we call it a grand old time, like the M1 Garand rifle.
I get it.
And just fantastic. You can see how weapons have evolved over time.
So you're in heaven back then, huh?
Oh, that's my favorite day of the year for this place.
Yeah, it's like going to a classic car show for me.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, hey, let's take a quick break. Our special guest is on the line, so we'll chat with Cliff Ireland when we get back right here on Gun Sports Radio. I'm Dave. He is Michael. This is AM 1170, and we are The Answer. Folks, hey, welcome back. You're listening to Gun Sports Radio. We want to talk about our great sponsors, Gun Range San Diego. Go to gunrangesandiego.com. Need a lawyer? Gasky, Dillon, and Balance. You can't beat it. Just definitely check these guys out. And Trident Gunsmithing for all your gunsmithing needs. Well, who do you got on the line there, Mr. Schwartz?
I got my good buddy Cliff Ireland. Cliff is I know him because he was helping out with the Jerry Kern campaign. Jerry Kern's the Oceanside City Councilman who's very pro Second Amendment, and he's running for county board. We had him on, and Cliff and I sat down and have talked a few times. And now Cliff is throwing his hat into the ring, so I wanted him to come on to the show here today and talk to him a little bit about it. Cliff, are you there?
I am here. Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for coming on the show. No, don't be nervous.
Don't be nervous. Come on, you got a face for radio.
Are you guys crazy? I've been pacing back and forth for the past half hour. I'm so afraid I'll get so nervous I might have an accident, but don't worry, I went to the bathroom before I called.
You are the man. So, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Well, I'm short, a little chubby, I'm going bald, I usually wear a hat.
He's perfect for the radio.
Perfect for radio.
Right, exactly. I'm good looking to everybody.
Absolutely.
Tell them what you're running for. You're running for?
I am running for District 1 City Council here in San Marcos.
Beautiful San Marcos.
Like many of the other cities, will be the first election in 2018 by district voting.
So it used to be a general election. Everybody would vote for each city council member, but then there was a lawsuit that broke it up into districts. So now only the mayor is an at-large election, correct? Everybody else, there's 4 districts, and then everybody votes for mayor?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Excellent. You're running in District 1. Now, what made you want to run for city council?
That's a good question. And I know it's a common question, and I wish I could come up with this fancy answer that, to save the world, but the truth is it's just because I'm tired. For the past 5-6 years, I've been behind the camera. I work in the media industry, and I've seen a lot of candidates. I've seen a lot of politicians come and go that always say what you want to hear, and that's it. And then in 4 years, they're your best friend again.
Right. Not a lot of substance, just coming around for your vote.
Yep.
Right. And again, I don't mean that because of who's running in this race or who's running in any other race. I don't mean that. It's just a common thread I've started to see. And while most people don't like districts, and I don't support districting either, this kind of has worked out to give me a little bit of courage to run. Smaller voting cycle. I've lived in my neighborhood since the late 90s. I know my neighbors. I know my friends. And at least I hope I know my friends. Anyways.
That all changes when you go into politics.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you're going to get real thick-skinned real quick. But if you've got the right attitude, I'm also in the media, not just on radio, but I'm also on KUSI, and I tell people all the time, a penny to a million. If you have the ability to give back a penny to the million, then you need to do it. Now, in your case, it doesn't have to be monetary. Of course, it will be. But you're giving of yourself. I mean, you're taking away. I mean, you already don't have a real private life because you're in the media world, but you're really going to, expose yourself to the world. But if you've got the right message, even though you might think it's not that important, but you must, otherwise you wouldn't have thrown your hat in the ring. That's where the toughness comes together, and the good people will hang around you, and the bad people won't. So I think you're on the right path.
There you go.
And that's another reason why I entered. I'm going to be 43 in January, and I haven't done anything with my life, anything of substance. I have a wonderful wife, and how I met her and why she married me, God only knows, and we'll just leave it at that. But I've been able to cover people that have made changes, that do changes, and their whole life is revolves around that, whether it's for the homeless or whether it's for even building a home. Sometimes those can be pretty, pretty controversial, but at least they're doing something.
Right.
I haven't done anything. I'm just the guy that told the story or showed the story through the lens. But now it's not that I'm arrogant or, they say, only arrogant people or selfish people get in politics. I hope I'm not one of those guys. I just want to be somebody that does something that makes a difference.
I think you're not fulfilled. I think everything you've done in media has not filled that void that you're going to find in politics. That's how I read it. I know because, and I take a little bit back from when you saying that you haven't really gave back, you haven't really done anything, but you have with your storytelling, your photography talents. Without those, all those stories that you've been doing all these years would never have been told. So I think there's serious value there. I think you're just moving out of your comfort zone to make a bigger impact. And I think that's how you need to look at it.
Well, and I'll tell you, somebody saying that I don't think I've done enough for my fellow man, and that's why I'm running for office, that's about the best reason I've ever heard.
Well, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. But, and like I said, is it going to be an easy road? Probably not. But you're going to learn from it.
Now, Cliff, who's your opponent?
Michael Schwartz.
Craig.
No.
The only opponent I know of so far is, and again, nobody's really filed. We've just put out our letters of intent or, our 501s, is Craig Garcia, who's also a fellow Republican.
Okay.
Yeah, but here's what's important, though. He is, correct me if I'm wrong, but San Marcos has 3 gun shops and an ammunition manufacturer. I mean, just in this one town, there's a lot of Second Amendment stuff going on. And they one of the gun shops just broke ground a couple months ago to build a gun range.
Actually, they put the walls up. I went yesterday. I live by that. I live about a mile down the road from there.
Good.
And I drive by there on the way to the grocery store.
But here's what's
and
important.
They put the walls up.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the guy that you just mentioned, the person that's in the seat now, voted against putting up that gun range. And how do you now, Cliff? Where are you on Second Amendment issues?
I didn't know that. Oh no, I would like to say I'm a Second Amendment junkie, but I'm not. I support it. It's my right, and because it's my right, it's my choice.
Right.
It's my choice not to own a gun, or it's my choice to own a firearm if I choose.
Right.
And I choose to protect myself with it, but more importantly, my family, my friends, and God forbid this country if we ever needed to. But it's my choice because it's my right.
That's right.
And to take that away, I have a hard time with that. And I can say the same thing about voting. Voting is a right, and it's a choice. We choose to vote. Unqualified voters have the right to choose. So qualified gun owners have the right to own.
Right. And the word's qualified. The word is qualified.
Yes, sir.
So it's Chris Orlando,
I don't want to be
right?
judgmental.
No, you're absolutely right. See, that we've gotten so politically correct nowadays. It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day, and I said, all the immigrants that came through Ellis Island, they just didn't come in, jump off the boat, and head into the United States. They had to have a sponsor. They had to have a talent. They had to have some money. They had to sign a document saying that they would not be a burden of the United States for X amount of time. I'm all for that. you know, and it falls right into gun ownership. You know, it's part of our rights. You know, if you pass all the laws and you don't do anything stupid with it, you pass all the then you should be able to have a firearm. And if you want to carry it concealed and you pass everything, you should be able to do it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely, sir.
You said it's Chris Orlando, right? That's the guy?
No. Chris Orlando is, no, this is Craig Garcia.
You were close.
Oh.
Orlando's the one that sings with Don.
So who's in so the district's wide open. There's no incumbents?
No, this is the first district.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Remember that they've never done it before? Oh, then you're a shoo-in. You're the first one. You have nobody to beat.
No, Mr. Garcia.
Oh, that's right. We forgot about.
You know, and it's still early, and you know, and who knows who might jump in the race, but that's good because the voters need somebody to choose from. They need to know us,
Right.
Instead of just saying, "Oh, he's a Republican. Oh, yep, he said Second Amendment. I'm going to vote for him."
Right.
I don't want that. Get to know me.
Right.
I'll buy you coffee.
Exactly.
I'll come out, just talk, which actually is a big thing I learned from you, Mr. Swartz. It's always like, just talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't ignore me.
Right.
Just talk to me. We may not agree on everything,
Right.
but at least let's have a conversation. And now that I've become more involved with either the gun club or any other organization, I realize most people, they don't even want to talk, and I just don't get that, and I hope to change that.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to work. Hey, so do you have a website yet?
Yeah, honest to God, this is my first interview. This is, for better or worse terms, this is my coming out party.
You should be very proud because you know we are very picky on who we have come on this show, and Michael Schwartz couldn't stop talking about you. So, you know, congratulations. We will definitely have you back. We'll watch you throughout the campaign, and if there's anything we can do to help you at our end, you know, we're here for you, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting me be on, and sorry if I was really nervous.
No, you're doing fine. You know, next time we'll have you come in the studio. It's a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more fun.
Awesome.
All right,
I really
buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, folks. That's Cliff Ireland. He'll be your next district guy up in San Marcos.
I hope so. Like, again, we don't know everybody that's running, but I think Cliff's got a real good shot, and he's a real good guy.
Yeah, he's just nervous.
Yeah.
But we're
Aren't we
working
all?
on that. Aren't we all? All right, folks. We're going to have to hit the dusty trail. This was Gun Sports Radio. Thank you very much, Gun Range San Diego, Trident Gunsmithing, and Gatsky, Dillon, and Balance. We'll talk to you next week, and I think the whole crew will be back right here on AM 1170, The Answer.
Gun Sports Radio is sponsored by Love Radio Network.